Good morning, Centurion Vineyard family, and it's nice to be with you again this morning. It's day 3 of our devotional series, When Jesus Speaks Peace. And today we're going to be looking a little bit at a story in Luke's Gospel, chapter 24, verses 36 to 49. Let me start by asking a question. Have you ever been in a place where all your hopes, your dreams, your desires, everything you've been working towards for months, maybe even years, has come undone, and you don't know the why or the how of it? I think for many people, this is exactly the place that they find themselves in, the situation that they find themselves in as a result of COVID-19 and the lockdown. It's not a nice place to be in. There's so much anxiety and uncertainty that goes along with it. And for a lot of people, this can be a very paralyzing experience. I faced this situation quite a few times in my own life, the most devastating of which was around 12 years ago. In the space of a few short months, it seemed my entire life came crashing down around my ears, and not only was I paralyzed, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to even begin to think about rebuilding, but I was suicidal at the same time. Today we're going to look at this passage in Luke 24, where the disciples, while maybe not suicidal, were definitely uncertain, afraid, scared. They were definitely paralyzed in place with fear. You see, their whole world had just come apart in a few short days, and now they did not know what to do. Their leader was taken from them. What's more, they're confused by the fact that nobody seems to know what has happened to Jesus, what has happened to his body. Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and a few of the other ladies have told them about the empty tomb and their encounter with the angels. Peter and John themselves have seen the empty tomb. And now Cleopas and another one of their friends have just come back from Emmaus and told them that they've just had a nice chat and a good meal with Jesus. Nothing makes sense anymore. And they could still be in danger of facing the same fate that Jesus did, of being crucified for being associated with him. Is it any wonder that they're anxious? Is it any wonder that they're afraid and confused? That they're in this room with the doors locked and the windows shut? But let me tell you, locked doors and closed windows will not stand in Jesus' way. And we see this in this passage. He just appears in their midst. It would be kind of like me appearing right next to you now as you're listening or watching this clip. Do me a favor, look to your left. I gotcha. But imagine if that were really to happen. You'd kind of be freaked out, wouldn't you? It kind of explains the disciples' reaction as well. They are scared. They think they're seeing a ghost, and into that anxiety, into that fear, into that confusion, Jesus speaks. Peace be with you, he says again. What he is saying to the disciples is, be calm, be restful, quiet your hearts, quiet your minds. Give me a place to speak. Then to further set them at ease, to prove to them that he is there in physical form, that he isn't a ghost, he eats some fish before going on to remind them of everything that he has been saying to them over the last 3 years. He follows this up by reminding them that even though they thought they had lost everything, they were only now going to get busy doing what he had actually meant for them to do right from the very beginning. He flips their internal script, so to speak. They think that they've lost it all, but he is telling them that in reality, they're about to receive and to gain far more than they could ever think of, hope for, and believe for. Now, when I was in that place that I spoke about earlier, confused, hurting, depressed, even angry, suicidal, Jesus showed up one day and he spoke to me. I could almost audibly hear his voice speaking to me. He reminded me of his plan and his purpose for me. He reminded me that he wasn't done with me yet. It's funny. I can still remember that sense of peace that came over me that day. And it remained with me for a few days after this encounter with Him. And to this day, even though I may face many other fears and anxieties and uncertainties, He is always there to speak peace to my heart, to my mind, to my spirit, and to remind me of His purpose for me. He flipped my script, so to speak, and continues to do so when I think it is heading in the wrong direction. Can I encourage you that if you yourself are facing peace, fear, uncertainty, anxiety, confusion today, if you're hurting, if you're disappointed, if you're paralyzed in place by fear, by where events and circumstances have left you, can I encourage you to just be still? Can I encourage you to let Jesus in? Can I encourage you to let Him speak to your heart, your mind, your spirit? And can I encourage you to listen as He reminds you of what lies ahead of you? Because what lies ahead of you can be far greater than what you feel that you have lost. Let Him flip your script and show you what lies ahead of you. Go and read Luke 24, verses 36 to 49, and God bless you.